Welcome in, folks, to Fantasy Football Island. I'm Tito, Jeff Thidoff. That guy on the other side is Chad Rink. Follow him on Twitter, at Chad Ochorenko. I am at That Habs. I may have said that already. I'm not sure. Fantasy Sports, powered by DSP Media. Make sure you download the app. It's free for Apple and Android users. Go check out our new website, too, fanstreamsports.com, and check that out, too. Lots of great new stuff on our app, on our website, everything out there. Go check out the Facebook page as well. We are heading in now to week 6 of the NFL season. I had to think for a second there, Chad. I only know this because my record's 4-1 in our league that we're in together. But anyway, that's like 4 wins, 5, and this is 6. That's how I remember these kinds of things that I've lost one time in 5 weeks. But anyway, I don't know if this is big news, Rink, but the Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals. It was Flacco and a 6 for a 5 in next year's draft. Is it a big deal?
Not really. I don't think, like, fantasy-wise, I don't think it is either, because I'm going to steal this line. I told my buddy I'd steal this line from him, but I would cite him in the footnotes.
Okay.
But putting Flacco behind that offensive line is like elder abuse. It's like he's not mobile. So, I mean, he's better than Browning, obviously, but I don't know if anyone really could do much behind that offensive line except for some elite quarterback play. So it's news. If you're in a 2 QB league, maybe, pick him up and see, but I wouldn't blow a bunch of fab on him. And I love it for the Browns. I mean, like, you weren't going to use Flacco. You might as well send him to the Bengals.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Look, I think Flacco's the better quarterback, but I don't think he makes them better. Just because of the fact that we're making better. It's like he won't turn the ball over. Browning's got, 8 interceptions in his 3 starts. The Bengals are last. I don't know how you look at it. They're the first in the league in turnovers. We're the last in the league, but they've got 11 turnovers. Nobody in the NFL has more turnovers than their offense does. This should improve that, but it's still a bad offensive line. And so I was thinking about this, Chad, and I'm not going to run out and pick up Joe Flacco. I will tell you this, and I feel dirty saying it. In a deeper league, I might grab Deshaun. Here's the reason. Because now they need a third quarterback. Deshaun, if he's looking better at all, and I don't know there's really no benefit to the Browns playing Deshaun other than to maybe save Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders from being murdered in that against some of these teams they're going to play. They got Green Bay this week on the road. I mean, who knows what Micah Parsons is going to do? Then the Browns are in Pittsburgh or at home at Pittsburgh take on the Steelers, and so not the Browns, the Bengals. I mean the Bengals doing that. I'm sorry, the Browns have got Pittsburgh this week, and I don't know if Dylan Gabriel could survive that game in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, he looked better than I thought he would.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he wasn't great. And they're going to need somebody because I know they don't want to play Shadur. I don't think Shadur's ready. So if Watson is ready, at least have him there. And, again, once the season kind of goes sideways or once they're out of the playoff contention, I think they play Watson to see how he looks because either, one, they keep him and he could be the starter next year, or two, they could look to move him in the offseason if some team is dumb enough to take him. So I like that move better than another one, especially if you're in a 2 QB league or just in a deeper league, or if you have a quarterback like Bryce Young. Like if you have a late bye week quarterback, that could be something.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. You're right. There's not a lot of benefit to doing it. I mean, he's got these void years coming up. He's under contract in 2026. I think that one's guaranteed for that. But like after that, the years are void years, which would kill them on the cap. We know that. But still, yes, if he gives you a shot at looking at something there, because I like you, I don't think the Browns want to put Shadur out there. I think Shadur fans and Shadur haters would love to see Shadur out there for one reason or the other, but it seems irresponsible if they don't have a veteran quarterback in that room now. And you look at what they had when the preseason started, they had 14 quarterbacks on the roster, it looked like, and now they're really down to 2.
Yeah, and now I probably wish they would have kept Kenny Pickett, but
exactly.
Or that's the thing I didn't realize with the Bengals. Like, why didn't they just get a guy like a Kenny Pickett? Or I know Desmond Ridder was not great. He did not look good for them in the preseason and stuff like that. But like, he's mobile. He's a Cincinnati guy. I know the Giants, from what I had heard from people that I know in the industry, that the Giants really did not want to move off of Winston. And the Bengals are in a weird position too because they have their franchise quarterback, so they're trying to just get a guy to win games. So I thought an interesting play would have been to see what it would have taken to get Anthony Richardson.
Sure.
Because I know he's not great, but at least he can move and he has win games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Colts wouldn't have minded getting off him. And if you're the Bengals, if I don't know what he would have done, but at least he's something.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have taken a third, but that kind of maybe keep the Bengals afloat because they're still 2-3. What are they? Are they second in the division still?
Yeah, the Bengals are 2-3 in second place, a game and a half behind Pittsburgh, 1.5 games behind him.
Yeah. So they got to try to salvage it, and I don't know if like you said, Flacco's not going to turn the ball over. I think the bigger issue is I don't think Zach Taylor is going to be able to change his offense to address what they need to do with Flacco there. Mm-hmm. So that's, I think, the bigger issue. But, we'll see. They play who they got this week? Do they have the
Bengals this week?
Yeah.
The Bengals this week, I'll take a look here real quick for you. But I know it's next week.
They're in Green. Are they in Green Bay?
In Green Bay, yeah, in Green Bay this week, and then they are at Pittsburgh on a short week.
Okay.
Or they host Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, on a short week. They host Pittsburgh. That's what it was. They've got, so between now and a week from Thursday, they've got 2 games. And Flacco probably gives them a little bit better chance to win Green Bay, but it's not really going to be that much better. And then you get, Flacco's obviously familiar with Pittsburgh and playing them, so you get a little bit better. But like if the Bengals lose both of them, I think they're done anyway. I think they're done right now unofficially, but even so, I'm not rushing to pick up Joe Flacco in any league, any way, shape, or form.
No, because like you said, if they lose these next 2 games and they can keep it out of it, then I don't know what they do at that point if they just let Flacco run it out. Mm-hmm. But it just he's not. I don't know. They just have a lot of issues.
All right, let's look at running backs now because there's a couple interesting developments. Rico Dowdle for Carolina, he had a huge game last week. I don't know if Chuba Hubbard's coming back, but Rico's somebody who could be out there. I picked up one of my leagues and it won the week for me. Michael Carter seems to be the guy in Arizona now after the fumble debacle. Benson's out, Connor's obviously out there as well, and then we got the Chargers situation. So, kind of handicap those for me. Which one, like out of those 3 situations, and there's some question marks about who the Chargers running back will be. But out of those 3 situations, just say Carter, Rico, Chargers. How do you rate them in priority for you?
I think Rico has to be 1 because I think it's his backfield until Chuba comes back. And he rushed for 200 yards. Rico has shown he's able to do stuff when he was with Dallas. So I think him 1. I really think Michael Carter is 2. And can we say why are you for everybody that plays in the NFL,
right?
Why are we still having conversations of people wanting to just get rid of the ball immediately when they cross the goal line?
I know.
I don't understand that. After 1, maybe 2 people do it, then I'm no one should do that. So I think Carter's 2 because I don't know. I don't like that one either. I just don't like that situation. I think Carter's just going to be the more every down back, and I don't know how they're going to do with DeMarcado after that. The problem with the Chargers is I don't think they're going to run the ball as much now. And what is it, Vidali? He and Haskins are 2 totally different running backs. And I would not be surprised if they went out and brought Gus Edwards back, which would just make things even more confusing. But I don't think the Chargers are probably going to try to run it as much. They still will, but I think they'll just use Haskins or Edwards as the first, second down back, and then Vidal as the third down receiving back. So I just don't like the Chargers situation until Hampton gets back.
Part of my problem with Haskins, and I say it's good and bad, he's 6'2", 228. That's the kind of running back I really like. He's 6'2", 228. I'll look past the fact he went to Michigan, but I think Haskins has a real chance here. So I think I would take him 1 just because I think he has the best chance. He has a better chance than Rico of being a longer-term answer, I think. Whereas Rico, I know, look, he had the big week this past week, kind of came out of nowhere, but Chuba's coming back at some point. And maybe they'll split carries at that point. But I think Haskins has a real chance to take this job. I think I would rank him above. I think I'd probably put Rico third. I'd probably go Carter second, then I'd probably put Rico third on that one. But there's some options out there that even if you're not the number one waiver order, number two in this week, there's some options. You have a chance to still get some value among running backs.
Yeah, I think Rico probably got picked up last week. Rico's going to cost a ton this week, and I would not spend a ton on him. Haskins is interesting because when he played, even because I think it was with Tennessee before this, he can, like you said, he's a big back. So if he gets going, he's not Derrick Henry, but he's got that type of size. Mm-hmm. So he's definitely going to be their goal line back. So I think it probably is not going to cost you much to get Haskins. People are not going to go out of their way to get him, and they're probably not going to spend a ton of fab. They're not going to. I would not say if you're a top 3 waiver order, I would just wait and see if someone's still available. I would not go after anybody and lose one of those top 3 spots for anybody that's on this waiver wire this week.
And something to keep an eye on too now, we had bye weeks last week. And if somebody needed to pick somebody up for an injury somewhere else, whatever, you may have seen them cut someone like a Kenneth Gainwell. Gainwell might be out there. He's had the one really good game for Pittsburgh. I've been saying I don't like Gainwell this year, but I'm starting to like him more after what I saw he did over there in Ireland. Just look at things like that too, because Gainwell, depending on how you sort your charts on what you're looking at things. Look at last week, Gainwell had 0 points. Take a look though, and if you can find him, if he's out there, that might be someone worth taking a flyer on as well. Let's talk.
Go ahead. Another one in that is Tyler Algier too.
Yep. You're right. That's another good one too. Yeah, for Atlanta. Look, he and Robinson aren't that much different in number of carries or number of touches. Even it's not like it's a wide gap as much as you might think when you talk about Bijan Robinson, who was like a top 3 running back being drafted this year, and it's not like he's got an 80-20 split. I mean, they're pretty close as far as that goes. Robinson's been more productive, but Algier though is getting touches. Quickly on quarterbacks now, because I know we touched on the Flacco thing and what's going on there. And I mentioned that, as dirty as I would feel, I might consider, someone like Deshaun Watson is just like a flyer kind of thing. But when you're looking across the board at the other quarterbacks now, there's a chance that Mac Jones it might be done. Brock Purdy might be back this week. We're not sure. Lamar Jackson might be back this week. It feels like there's not a lot of great options as far as quarterbacks that can really win a week for you this week.
No, not really. I mean, I think Gabriel might be the best option because he's going to be the Browns quarterback going forward. They have at least one more game with Cincinnati, maybe 2. I don't know if they played them yet this year.
They played week 1.
Right? They did play week 1. I think the Browns still have the Bears defense as well. So he's going to be their guy going forward. I mean, it looks like it with them getting rid of Flacco. Yeah, and then there really is not anyone else unless somebody gets hurt, and then you're just trying to see, okay, who do I want to stash? So hopefully you're not in a situation where you're desperate need of a quarterback.
I jumped on Demarcus Robinson and for the 49ers and did not do well. But Kendrick Bourne, though, did have a big game against the Rams. He had the 10 catches for 142, had a really big week there. It seems like, I don't know, I can't keep track of the 49ers injury their injury report. If you tell who Roger Craig was on there, I'd probably still buy that. I don't know who some of these, and I can't tell, the timelines on these guys. There's so many of them, but it feels like Bourne would be a decent one to target if you needed a wide receiver.
Yeah, until everybody gets back. I know I think he and Jones meshed pretty well because they were in New England together. Mm-hmm. So he's a decent receiver. So if you need one, he's probably the guy. Jalen Hyatt did nothing, and so I'll take the L on that. But I did cash a Theo Johnson 2-touchdown bet.
Did you really?
This week. I did, yeah. I talked about it on my betting show. He was one of the 2-touchdown guys, and luckily I got him and Chase. I cashed both those out.
Good for you. Okay, now Theo Johnson, you mentioned him with the Giants. That's a decent tight end to pick up if you want to. The other guy who we thought that may have been dead was Darren Waller. And Waller had a great first game back in a couple years and then was decent this past week. Didn't do much in the second half, but they're looking to him quite a bit. And, when you got the Tyreek Hill situation over there, it's possible Darren Waller's the second most targeted receiver / tight end on this team.
Yeah, I was kind of leery since it'd been a few years since he's played. He's a little bit older. And then just that first week, 2 touchdowns was kind of an odd anomaly. But I was watching that game, and he actually looked pretty good. He made some nice catches. And if you remember last year, they targeted Jonnu Smith a ton.
Yes.
At the end of that last year. So I think Waller, if he's still out there, is not a bad tight end to pick up.
Yep, I think you're right. I'm going to look for Waller because there's been so many disappointing tight ends this year. There really has been. And guys will have a great week and then they disappear. It's been a real crapshoot. Like if you ever had a year to stream tight ends, if you didn't get the first or second best one available out there, this would have been the year to do it because, I jumped on Evan Ingram at one point when I waited too long to really get a tight end, and that backfired. Jake Ferguson's been the steal for a lot of people, but there's a lot of tight ends that have just been very much hit and miss, and it's really difficult to predict who's going to be good on what week. So streaming a tight end might not be the worst idea to get on one that's maybe had 2 or 3 games in a row that's decent.
Yeah, so the tight end landscape has been weird this year because no one's really stood out, especially with the Bowers injury. Even Trey McBride has been very consistent, but a little underwhelming where you had to draft him. So I think maybe, Tyler Warren has probably been the best one.
Yeah.
And if you're looking, I'm telling you, the bye week happened for the Bears. I think Colston Loveland could be one to stash because I think he's better than Kmet, and they'll probably try to work him in more, especially after this bye week. And that Bears offense is actually looking pretty serviceable and competent.
All right, that's it for Fantasy Football Island this edition with the waiver wire stuff. Get your picks in now and then adjust later if you have to. Don't get left out. Make sure you go in there and get those. Follow him on Twitter at Chad Ochocinco. Send him questions if you have anything. Follow me on Twitter at That Happens. Download the app free for Apple and Android users. FanStream Sports, powered by DSP Media, round-the-clock programming, all kinds of new stuff coming out. The FanStreamSports.com website, another great place to reach out to us, and on the FanStream Sports Facebook page, we can interact with hosts, other fans of other shows. You can do all that, but make sure you check us out. Back with more later on this week. Chad, you're going to drop some betting knowledge on them this week as well?
Yeah, I should be coming in tomorrow, do some betting, maybe do a first look DFS. So I'll have at least 2 or 3 more shows coming out this week.
There we go. Rink, have a great night, bud. We'll talk again soon.
All right, we'll see you.